All right, so I'm bringing in Republican Congressman Mike Haridopolos from Florida. Thank you for being here. And I want to just start with that comment from Megyn Kelly. I don't think there's anything more clear and succinct than that. What is your response to what she's saying? That gas prices matter and that this president doesn't seem to understand that?
Well, I would just say this, Audie. I agree. Gas prices do matter. It is a huge part of our economy. It's the everyday cost that Americans hate paying. We are enjoying much lower gas prices throughout the early part of President Trump's second term. Clearly, this conflict in Iran has caused those prices to go up, and we're looking at alternative ways to fill that gap. That's why there's opportunities, as you know, in Venezuela. The Saudis are being smart about using their Western pipeline, but we need to solve this problem for the good of not just America, but the world, to finally take this Iranian crazy regime off the map.
So what are you telling constituents? Are you just commiserating on the gas prices or telling them to be patient? Like, what's your argument?
No, good point, Audie. And I'm saying this. We all know the crisis with Iran is real. We know it's been going on since 1979. We all hope that this is an aberration for a few months, that we're dealing with higher prices in order to get some stability in the Middle East, which we've not enjoyed my entire lifetime. And I think that we have allies finally in the Middle East. I mean, you think about all the Iranian neighbors, especially the UAE recently. They've said, I've had enough of Iran, and we're going to gang up together and finally take out this crazy regime. In the meantime, one last thing, Audie, is I would say I talk to citizens like, we hate gas prices where they're at, Mike, and we're all hoping, again, the key word is hoping, that we can get through this crisis in the next couple of months so we can enjoy long-term lower gas prices and a world that's a lot safer, considering the fact that Iranians can actually fire missiles more than 2,000 miles away.
So we've got new polling showing that Americans don't think that gas prices will come down over the next year. We also had some polling earlier in the show about whether or not people approve of Trump's handling of the war. Why do you think those disapproval numbers are so high?
Well, Audie, there's no doubt about it. The gas prices are too high. We all want to win the war.
Can I stop you for a second? Outside of the gas prices, why don't they look at Hegseth, who's out every week, look at Trump, who's out talking about this, and the diplomatic back and forth at Iran, and think, my president is doing a good job with this war that he kicked off?
Well, two things I'd say. One is, again, I can't emphasize that when gas prices are high, everybody's upset, including me. Second is that we don't understand sometimes these foreign relation issues. We're critical about pocketbook issues. So I think they're more than legit to be upset about it. And as you know, the media is pretty pushing hard on the idea about failure in Iran. Remember, we've knocked out their entire Navy. We've knocked out most of their military capabilities. And they're feeling the pinch right now because their own army might not get paid because they're not bringing in that oil revenue as usual.
We're also seeing the fallout here and there in businesses. For example, Spirit Airlines basically shutting down mid-service. That's going to impact some of your constituents. I think upwards of 4,000 Florida residents had lost their jobs, 17,000 nationwide when it went out of business. Here's one flight attendant.
You know, it's bittersweet. There's a lot of memories. We had good days, we had bad days, like any other job. But it was that job that I loved. There was no job that compared.
I know in Orlando this hit hard. So what are your concerns going forward about the economic fallout?
Well, as you know, companies like JetBlue are taking up some of the slack, but I feel for this woman. I mean, she's in a difficult situation, especially given how chaotic things are around the world today. But let's also remember in 2024, they had the opportunity to actually join with JetBlue, and the Biden administration bragged about stopping that merger acquisition. That said, I think you're seeing JetBlue step up, taking over a bunch of those routes, offering low-cost fares. I wanted to see Spirit stay in business because the more competitors mean lower prices. But as you know, Audie, the challenge was that the Biden administration chose not to allow that merger, and here we are.
Congressman Haridopolos of Florida, thank you so much.